Hi, this is Eli Ocheltree of the SnoKing Beekeepers Association, and this is the preparation meeting for the Evergreen State Fair, which starts only a week from tomorrow. Today is August 13th. It starts on the 21st. Even if you go to the fair site and see that it says it's starting on the 22nd, they haven't updated their website yet. I just checked today. Okay, great. Another person or two coming in, but we are recording. Um, I sent out the Sign Up Genius link. I hope that's working for everyone. Uh, I was going to put some more links in here, but I can put them in an email when I send them out. The most important thing is that I have a mailing address to mail your tickets to you, particularly the parking ticket, because parking is $15, no ins and outs. I mean, you can't pull in, decide you're on the wrong side of the fair and change. And that's why we really try to get you onto the red gate side of the fair, at least if possible. There's a honey booth. I want to mention that there are a number of booths. We're next to the other club, which is the NWDBA, that meets in person and hybrid at the First Lutheran Church in Bothell. No, Monroe. Snohomish. I got it. It's Snohomish. First Lutheran Church in Snohomish. And that's where they meet. And um, so, and they will be next close to us. And then there's a bee tent that I'll show you a picture of, and a honey booth in a completely different building. And Tim 80, Beekeeper of the Year last year, still is the bee supervisor, and he is a mentor, so active in everything. He trains the honey judges who will judge your honey if you get it entered by 5 p.m. on Saturday, this Saturday. So I want to make sure that I cover, and tell me if I don't. We'll get to honey entries. First, where we are, the easiest way to enter the fair and to find our booth. And if you get lost, what to do. What to do if you can't find your tickets and you are already at the fair and they want to charge you $15 to even come into a parking lot. The parking ticket is the most important thing to have, because you can come up to the gate and text or phone us or something, and we'll come right to the gate because we are really close to the red gate and we know how to find any other gate wherever you end up. But you need to know the really important stuff, like the best fair food. Ooh, one of the best kept secrets of the fair. The best air-conditioned restrooms, which can be really nice. And how easy it is to be a bee expert. Then also, if you have gotten your apprentice certificate, or you're finishing it right now, how to apply your hours to journeyman certification. And there's two types of hours. There's just staffing the booth. You're there, you answer questions, hand out the brochures, stand by the observation hive and point out the queen, and we mark the queen. You do not have to struggle to see the queen. We have marked her. We know how to make our lives easy as beekeepers and as a club. That's one kind of hour. The other one, you get more credit for per hour you work, and that's if you present. And we have time on the fair. I think just about every day of the fair, we have noon to 4 p.m. They don't have anyone else actually for the fair. And I'll explain. You can just go up there with a few props and get presentation time. Entering. I have another slide later with how to really enter. And oh, yep, this is jumbled up. I will get back to this. But the important thing about entering right now is that if you want to enter online, figure out how to fill out the form, you can only do that through tomorrow. Then they close the online. And then if you come, you have to drop off your honey anyway on Saturday. If you come on Saturday, it takes a while to fill out the form. And I know if you've got the kids or someone waiting in the car, it can be easier to do the form online. So, and the drop off is Saturday till 5 p.m. and you can fill out the form there. The presentations. I put pictures of the booth, and I might have one or two later. Our We have the 10 by 20 tent, but in addition, we are allowed to use the ag outdoor stage. Okay, the stage is like 8 inches off the ground, the last I knew. And they will get you a microphone if you really want it. Usually don't bother. It's usually just a few people, half dozen people. If the shade is good, you will have more of an audience. If it's hot or if it's raining, you will have a captive audience because they need to get out of the sun or out of the rain. That's okay. Go ahead and present. It can be as formal or informal as you like. And I'll show you, we have honey extracting equipment we can bring, so you can show a honey extractor and which way you put the frames in and just spinning and how you make this a family affair, right? Because you need lots of arm strength. And if you're doing a hand crank. And then a hive is a home for a bee. That's a really easy one for a lot of people because you know the hive parts. Even just taking the class, you know the hive parts. And that's being an expert to the average person out in the public who's visiting our booth. How to light and use a smoker. Okay, you would think this is kind of mundane. No. And actually, Mike, who is the opener, and I've got his number later on. I don't know if he's going to kind of take this over. He loved doing it last year. And he brought different kinds of fuel, and he would talk to people about using paper, cardboard egg cartons, wooden fuel pellets, shavings. Actually, he's just kind of fun. That's fun just to have all the different types of fuel out where people can see them and then talk about which ones stay lit longer. And I love burlap. And free sacks are still available in one place out by Painfield, Cascade Coffee. We could write that down because it's a neat thing to know. Then you could just say it's Ask the Beekeeper time. And we just put up a little 8.5 by 11 sheet that says each of these things. So if it's Ask the Beekeeper, you just look authoritative and stand up there and answer questions. And don't think you don't know the answer to the questions. One of the best questions of all time, I was giving a presentation and I kept a straight face. I had been asked to speak as a master beekeeper and they were paying me, which was really nice. But I think I earned my money when I kept a straight face when somebody asked me, where do honeybees go in the winter? Because I only see them in the spring and summer. And I answered that question very well and very thoughtfully for someone who had no reason to know where honeybees go and that we have to provide them with winter housing. Varroa treatments. I want to put together a display, even if it's just a poster board type display of Varroa treatments. And not everybody wants to talk about chemicals. So any of these you don't want to do, you don't feel like you have to do. Native pollinators. Some people love to come. Our beekeepers, a lot of them love native pollinators. I don't know a lot. I know some general statements I can do. We have a couple of large posters we can put up. Actually, there's one behind me if I kind of shift my picture. That one's really neat because people have been seeing bees all their lives. You probably can't see it really well, but a lot of people don't realize there's what they call the sweat bees, the metallic green, blue ones, and then there's the mining ones that dig in the ground. People often know about the mason bees or orchard bees, but there's alfalfa leafcutter bees that also you can keep in homes like the mason bees. If that's what you're interested in, we'd be happy to put these posters up. We might have them kind of toward the back of the tent, but we can bring them forward if you'd like to do a mini presentation. Okay, moving on to how do you find our booth and find the outdoor stage. Highway 2, okay, on this map, and this is the newest map on the Evergreen State Fair website, and the dates are wrong. Okay, so everybody noticed that they're one day off. The fair opens Thursday, the 21st. You are not crazy. It closes Labor Day, September 1st, not September 2nd, this year. So the dates are all wrong, but it was the newest map I could get. And I think I need to attach this. I want to see if I can text it. I think I can figure out how to text it too. I know some people work mostly with their text and with the GPS, and it's on your phone and it's with you when you're coming to the fair. So tell me if you need it texted. It might be so popular, I should just text it to everybody. I think I just JPEG this and can put it on. It's hard to look at a map like this too. You need a little time. Highway 2 is this one here, the big, you may think it's Main Street through Monroe. It isn't. Main Street is actually different. There is a Main Street, but Highway 2, that's where you find the restaurants and all kinds of things. Lots and lots of restaurants and fast food along that. So there is I wanted to put a stoplight. There's a stoplight right here. This is not where you make the turn, not at the stoplight. Be very suspicious if you are tempted to turn in at a stoplight. If you turn in at a stoplight, what's going to happen is you're going to go down to the white parking lot. You can use your parking pass anywhere, but it makes your life a little more complicated. I think you can walk on the gravel backwards, cross the street, and come around to the red parking lot and the red gates. Okay, how are you going to make sure you pull into the red parking lot and make your life easier?
Walk, 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 walk. Hopefully they go to back your lap. Not like
Okay, to make your life easier, I think I have a second. Yes, okay, I've made it bigger. This is the red parking lot. It is outside the red gate. There's a blue, a yellow, a purple. I can't remember how many different parking lots there are. If you can resist the urge, if you're coming from the center of Monroe and from Sultan, from that direction, and you're coming, actually, they consider it north, right? Sort of northwest. Here's a north-south. If you could do compass directions, it's here on the map. But the important part is if you're coming from that direction, don't turn in at the stoplight. Wait till you pass through the intersection, and then you will see, and my cursor is not really going to show up here, but leading to the red parking lot, there's going to be a little, like on the side of the shoulder of the road, they're going to make a red flags. They're kind of red orange little flags, and you drive through that lane, you get down, and then you go to the very end. It's kind of a long turn lane, and you can get in. If you're coming from the other way, it's a little awkward because you have to make a left. So if you somehow feel like you can't make that left, and they try to do red flags, they find a way for you to turn in. But if you're having trouble, you can go down farther and turn around at our favorite store, the Snohomish Co-op, which they're wonderful as a feed store. They're also our place that it's really easy for you to pull over, and we can come out and meet you and hand you a parking ticket. Because when you get into the parking lot, they don't wait for you to pay. You have to pay right then. And that $15 adds up, especially if for some reason you need to do in or out. And you're getting one parking pass and one parking pass and one admission per shift you work. And if you really need another one, we'll figure out something and get you one. So the big thing is I want to get you to this side of the fair. If you know where the feed store is, that orients you. I need to send out the address of the feed store. It's this Cascadia View Drive. And you may have gone past the feed store, I don't know how many times. It's a great feed store. But it is possible if you find out you can't make the left to get into the red parking lot, you can go past, turn around, come back, or you could turn around elsewhere too, and come back and get into their funny little turn lane. I assume they will do it the same way they have done it for years. Okay, you've made it to the red gate. Let me see, right here. Red gate entry. These are the tunnels. If you've ever been to the fair before and walked through the tunnels, that's the entry. The road with the stoplight goes over the top. And like I said, you could eventually park and walk your way back, but it's a little awkward. And if you could even get your parking ticket, you've got that, but somehow you don't have it, you need another admission ticket or something. If you can text us and tell us that you're there, and if you don't make it to the red gate, Tell us if it's the blue gate, the white gate. I can't remember if I think there's a yellow gate. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Just figure out what the color is and tell us, and we'll walk across the fair, find somebody to go over and get your tickets to you because it's just too expensive. With it going up to $18 on the weekends for adults, it's too. And there's the free days, a lot of the free days are gone. If you came to the fair several years ago, they still had the canned food donation day and the uh, free admission if you came before a certain time on the first day of the fair. A lot of discount. I think the senior discount now is there one day you can come in for $7 or something. It's better to just get the admission tickets. Okay, then when you come in, maybe you can see, you can kind of see you got that gate there. You come in and you almost immediately can find our area. Now, our area looks like this right now. There's the red gate. You come in and there's some lawn and space. That's all going to be bee tent, the two bee clubs having their 10 by 20 canopies. And the outdoor egg stage is going to be on one side or the other. So now I flipped you around 180 degrees, but we will be visible because we put up big signs that say SnoKing Beekeepers Association. So here we are this year, we were right next to the outdoor stage. And I'm serious, it's only like 8 inches tall, but it does get you off the grass if you'd like to be a little bit taller, command attention. And when we're not there, quite often there's no one over there at the outdoor stage. We do get music early in the morning, sometimes. So this is our layout, one of the recent years, might be 2 years ago. Contact, most important thing, I need to send an email to everybody with the map and then make sure the phone numbers, that you've got our phone numbers. I won't always be right at the fair, but I'll know who to text. And I didn't put Mike's number. I didn't put it in. It's the same Mike who's always in the newsletter. It's 425-501-8100. He's one of the swarm list people. I have his number absolutely memorized. I should have put it there. You know, I can put it in chat at the end. That way you've got him. He is going to be opening most mornings. And then we've got Heidi who'll be coming in later in the day most mornings, but I didn't ask her about sticking her phone number up here. So I wasn't sure if I should do that. Okay, we try to keep water. We will keep water, pop, and ice in the ice chest under one of the tables. I promise you the inside scoop on the best food at the fair. I love their loaded French fries. Yum. I mean, all kinds of bacon and meat and cheese and stuff on your French fries. But they also have healthy salads, things that are a little touch better. It's in the Horse Arena building. And I remember the name as the Scotsman. I will double check that. And the horse people said, we have to stay with the horses, even overnight. We have to have real food. Fair food is nice one day, but we can't live, a full week or so at a time. And they often are committing for a full week, the first or the second week of the fair, or both, if they have horses in both weeks of the fair. You may have noticed on the fair schedule, we close for a Wednesday in the middle of the fair, right in the middle. It's 2 weeks from today. Yes, that's the one we close on. August 20, I want to say 27th, August 27th, I think. And we close on that one day because they are changing over animals and types of horses and some of the exhibits. They didn't have room for everybody to stay for 2 weeks, and it would be a lot. But the horse people insisted on getting good food. Try out the Scotsman. It's worth a little bit of a walk down, and we're actually pretty close to the horse arena. The best restroom rooms are also there, and they're open on most of the fair because the horse arena is open most of the fair. So as long as the building is open and it's not being used for some other event, which has happened like on a weekend night, I think. Air conditioned, clean. Hey, those people say we need better than average if we're gonna sleep here with our horses for a whole week. The trolleys. If you end up in the wrong parking lot, never fear. You will see these people in what look like golf carts or supersized golf carts going around getting people from one parking lot to another, from the far ends of the parking lot up to the gate. They're wonderful people, and they'll wait a little bit for you, and they'll help you get, you have plenty of time to load and unload your stuff on if you're bringing anything. If you can drive up, you can unload right at the red gate. There's handicap parking right there too. And the trolleys bring you right to the gate if you're way out at the end of the parking lot. So if you end up in the wrong parking lot, you can see if you can ride a trolley to get around to the red gate. Walking across the fair takes some time, and if it's hot or rainy, yeah, it's kind of nice to just take the trolley. So the actual, let's see, the actual booth itself, I think I had one more fair map. Yeah. Okay, so I want to go back to the map for just a second. The feed store, if you have to turn around or you end up at the wrong place or you don't have your ticket, you pull into the feed store. The Monroe, the Snohomish Co-op feed store. Or there might be someplace you can kind of pull over to the side there. It's not going to be very possible anyplace else. That's really the easiest one. And if you don't mind giving us a ride back after we hand you your parking ticket, we appreciate it. The horse arena. I want to make sure you knew where the horse arena was. Here we are. We are here. Ag display. If you're looking for us, you're trying to figure out where we are. Red gate, come in, and ag display. And we're there with some other small outdoor displays too. That horse arena, the wonderful restrooms, and then the Scotsman. I guess they don't want to advertise Scotsman very much, but where it says AED, that's the good food. Anything else that's really useful? The biggest restroom is, of course, the big grandstand one. It's not bad, but it's not as nice as the one in the horse arena. Uh, Anything else on the map? I can't think of anything else. And you'll get there eventually, even if you do park and you have to walk across the fair. Just trying to make it easy. Okay. Back through this. Okay, at the booth itself. One of the easiest jobs, and you are the expert, is the observation hive with a marked queen. And here's a little fascinated tiny tot who is just watching the bees. We have some flashlights too to help them watch the bees. You give out a sticker. I saw the queen. I tend to even sometimes give out the stickers, especially to kids, even if we can't find the queen, but we almost always can. I figured out strategies to keep her out in the open. And we have backup stickers if we run out of the I saw the queen stickers. Now, the egg stage may have some kind of a little drop. They put this mural up. I think that was last year. And you can just have all the hive parts out and talk about them. It's very informal. You don't have to do it any longer than you want to. The parts of a bee suit are fascinating to people. Some little guys want to try it on. Some of the big guys might even try it on too this year. And then we have some wings that you can actually strap on. They have elastic. If you haven't done that's really fun, demonstrating how bees fly. And they fly in a figure eight, inverted in an interesting way. I'll show you. It's fascinating, or I can direct you to the video. Simon Reese demonstrates it. And yep, just you can explain this any way you want. Here's a pollen trap on front. You may even learn a few things while you're there. You're just asking, what is this? You pick up bees in a nuke or in a screened package. People ask about how you get them, and it's really nice to just have things right there to talk to people. That's the smoker. Mike had a great time with all the different types of smoker fuels and testing them and timing how long they ran. Do have to be a little careful of the hot smoker. We have to find a safe place for it. Honey extraction. And actually, I loaned out that honey extraction equipment. We have the extractor, we have some of this equipment. I can put together another kit. I got to remember who I lent that to. I may have to send out an email and ask. The honey judging. Okay, if you can't be outside for some reason, it's getting too hot. You have to stay in the shade. There's not enough shade. If something like that happens, we can move you into the honey booth, and Tim usually needs an extra person there, at least to give whoever's there a break. And that's kind of fun. Don't miss looking at the judged honey. Here's the ribbons and laid out. Everything from the really dark knotweed over to the lightest, as light as it gets, like right here, fireweed. Now the honey judging. It's important you do this right. I didn't look up how big the 3 identical jars are. I want to say they're 12 ounce in volume and 1 pound. And I have it on the PDF that I don't know if I got it into a slide here, but I can definitely send it. There's some things that people do wrong when they hand off their jar. One of the things they do wrong is they put their fingerprints all over it, or they tilt the jar, and if the honey is sticking up to the underside of the lid, that's considered that's not good technique. So you need to have it fairly full, no slack filling. It should be filled up pretty much to the top, like a 1/2 inch left. And then you shouldn't have honey stuck to the lid when you deliver it. How are you going to do that? You do it by putting a little piece of plastic wrap. When you get there, you take the plastic wrap off right as you hand it to the judge, wiped clean of fingerprints. The judge isn't supposed to do that for you. They're supposed to take it exactly as you handed it to them. Sounds kind of weird, but you can't favor anyone or help someone out. Okay. If you pour honey in right before, maybe you've just extracted. If you even pour from one container into another, because you're getting your 3 identical jars filled. If you do it the night before, you may have bubbles. If you freshly extracted, you may have this little bit of scum up at the top, and that plastic wrap actually helps pick up any little scum when you carefully take it off and throw it away, and that will pick up the scum. But the bubbles, you have to pour your honey in. If you got it in a warm place, the bubbles might rise in one day, maybe 2, if it's not as warm. You know, honey bubbles can rise in honey better at 80 degrees than at like 50 or 60. Those are the biggest mistakes, and I helped judge honey last year. The biggest mistakes that people make. And the size of the jar is something we should look up before I finish this. Oh, here it is. Maybe it's right here. Here it is right there. Haha. 3 1-pound glass jars. Glass is not required. Oh, glass is required, but not queen line. If you look up queen line, it's a special shape of a jar. You could use a plain glass jar. You could use a pint, pints a pound, the whole world round. Okay, they'll let you do pint jars, it says. Oh, pint jars are not allowed because they are the wrong volume, number one. Because 12 ounces tends to be about a pound of honey. So you need something a little smaller. The other reason that people don't want you to use pint canning jars is you can't have, how canning jars it says Mason on them and it's raised? Well, the reason you have to have glass and it has to be clear and it has to have nothing on it, on that surface of the glass, is because they're going to use a refractometer and shoot it through. They're going to look with a light. They're going to look at the purity of the honey that way. And then when they actually measure the water content with a refractometer, and if you haven't done that yet, that's something we can always do at like apiary days. But they're going to take out just a tiny bit of honey and they're going to put it in the refractometer and test for the water weight. So if you know how to test that, do it before you come. Sometimes bee supply stores will help you with that. I know if you would I should look it up in case anybody asks me before the fair and they want to check before Saturday when they're dropping it off, they want to check their water content and make sure. If you have several batches of honey, one of them might fall in the exact range. And I'm trying to think if it's 18.5. Oh, I should have looked some of this up. And the color of your honey will put you in a class and you'll be judged against other honeys in the class, I believe. So there's more than I think one first given out. There's different because you can't compare a fireweed ultra light white to a knotweed super dark honey. Okay, that's not the only possible entry you can do. You can do chunk honey, a chunk of honey in the glass jar surrounded with liquid honey. And again, it will be the 3 1-pound honey jars. I have some honey jars, but I'm not sure if they're perfect. They might have some imperfections in them. But if you're desperate for a jar, I might have some. Call me, stop by. Actually, people are coming to the apiary this Saturday. You can ask me then. Creamed honey, kind of a specialty, comb honey, and the comb honey is you could wrap it in anything clear plastic, unless it comes in a what is called a Ross round, a half comb cassette. This is getting kind of specialized. I don't know. If you're interested in this, we can go through it more. The beeswax. People like to show off their beeswax. And sometimes people make things with their beeswax. Like if you go down to, it says PE14 novelty items. Hey, some people have done some really interesting things. Carved them or molded them or poured them into a mold. Okay, I don't think I'll spend any more time on that, except that again, you got to get them in. And it has the wrong dates here. Again, okay, wait a minute. I pulled this off the internet, I was sure. I guess I didn't. I must have failed to, because it's Saturday the 16th. We are early for the fair this year. Okay. I have to see, do I have anything else before I talk about the drawing? I should have talked about the bee tent. I mentioned a bee tent. It's a hive inside of a tent. Tim is the only person that goes in there to work it, and he takes hives out full of bees, frames out full of bees, and shows them to the crowd. That's me getting some pictures of him. And there's again, here's people who did mini, I think everybody here did some kind of mini presentation and talked. That's our queen in the observation hive. And those are the t-shirts that you're going to pick up if you signed up for 3 shifts by noon last Saturday. And we get these at just the cost, totally cost, and they're super duper. I warned you about this already. This is my slide out of order that you really can only get to the red gate from the red parking lot. Don't turn at the stoplight. Look for that little turn lane, and one direction you pull it over to the right, the other one you're trying to make a left-hand turn. And I think on the busiest days of the year, the busiest days of the fair, they make a middle lane in Highway 2 to let you do that left-hand turn in. Oh, and you might get fireworks if you go on the weekend nights. The outdoor stage, there's a schedule for that, and pretty much we get it from where you see noon on and then down until Cinderella comes on the first day of the fair. They have these cartoon type characters that come. So we have a schedule for this. We can change whatever we're doing. We just filled it in with something last year, and they just put the same things in this year. Parts of a hive, beekeeper tools and equipment, ask a beekeeper, smoker demo. Okay. We do have to make room for the growing food people who are signed up a couple of times. And there's the second week of the fair. And that Wednesday we are closed. Did they get the right day closed? Yes, they got the right day closed, which is interesting. They adjusted that. We also overlap with the lavender farm. We need help this weekend and one day of the fair. And if you would just kind of rather have a smaller, less people venue, we could use help. And I put that in the newsletter. It's this Saturday, Sunday, and next in 2 weeks, that Saturday. The Lavender Farm is right in Woodinville. It's the most beautiful venue. People have weddings there and people come just to spend time. And if you were to not be working at the booth, you pay $7.50 each to get in because it is so popular a place to come hang out with the kids, take pictures. People do their engagement and wedding and special occasion photos there. Out of town people come. Kind of a tourist event. Okay, I think that was it. Wait. I gotta go back. Did I get back? Oh, okay, wait a minute. I need to go here. And I skipped one. Which one did I skip? Nope, it was back here. I know I skipped a slide and I said it was out of order. The volunteer drawing. We do this every year and we get the oddest things. This year we have donated by Melanie Lefebvre 5 1-quart, and I mean a canning quart jar, 5 1-quart jars. So we'll give people a chance at one of those. A chance per shift at one of those jars. And the first person's name drawn is the person who gets to pick. And people sometimes get their name drawn more than once because you get a chance per shift. We do this on the next monthly meeting, September the 17th. I know we have some Guardian Bee apparel gear. I think we're gonna have jackets and hoods and suits, but I'm not sure how much yet. I need to talk to the person who's arranging that. I don't know if Wade showed up here. And then actually there's so much we might sell part of it, but you get some chances to buy some, to get one free from, it's probably our biggest, yeah, it's probably our most expensive prize this year would be a jacket or a suit out of Guardian Bee. And we have to buy enough beginner or apprentice manuals, even if people don't really want a print manual. If you would like to select that, if your name is drawn, you are welcome to a beginner or an apprentice manual. Sometimes you took it years ago and you'd like to have the updated one without paying $25 plus postage. And same for the apprentice manual. A lot of people are looking for an extra manual and they like the print, and who wants to pay if you took it years ago for $35 for the apprentice manuals, and that's the cost. And sometimes we have a few extra t-shirts, that especially ones that just weren't claimed. If you have any more ideas, prize donations, anything else that's new, unused, ceramics, books, beekeeping books that you were given and you never used, or I wonder if we should have a pile of used books. I was thinking I should clear off my bookshelf and just say, anybody want my older books that I was using? Because sometimes people would, but basically we're looking for new, unused items. And it could be something you could give for a Christmas present. Okay, let me look really quickly at my screen, all the slides, and make sure. Let me look if I can find. Did I forget to talk about anything? Because this wasn't in perfect order. Before I turn off the recorded part and ask for questions, I think I covered it, even though it wasn't in perfect order. Okay. If everyone's okay with that, I will turn it off now and we'll go to questions. Where's the stop recording?
Maybe up at the top.
Okay, wait a minute. I just moved it. Oh, there it
Top
is. There it is.
menu.